All right, how's everybody doing? Let me first say this, is that I sort of, what's the saying? I bit off more than I could chew whenever I was talking about on my 49th birthday on the 7th, would be 49, 7 times 7 on the 7th. And I haven't posted anything because I've said this before. We do not have it in our brains to understand what's happening with me. I do not have it in me to explain. I can give details and hints, but not one person on this earth that's alive, except for the ones that control us, knows how true it really is. And see, I've had to go real deep. When you know that there is a black and a white path, there's only two paths, and that's the left and the right, which would be your Democrat and Republicans. But that's irrelevant to what we're talking about. Okay? When we look at gematria, and we've caught glimpses of it, possibly if you're listening to this, you have. Okay, let me say something. Gematria is what this world is set up under. So anything else under that is irrelevant. It doesn't matter how many, and I'll just pick on one person, and I'm not bashing them. Santos, Bonacci, along with the other ones too. They're not going deeper. Like Santos, they took Daniel out on February the 1st, 21. Remember the 201 Jesuits? We've done video after video, 21. Blackjack 21, 21 gun salute, that's all Jesuits. And then his dad died 3 years prior on February the 1st. That was a message sent to him. I've ripped it apart. He knows it too. He knows that they fucking did that. Okay? So if he knows what happened to someone, because it leads some of us to believe this, it's no different than the Jim Joneses taking people off somewhere and then they all dying. It doesn't matter if one dies or a million dies. A message and certain activities that has to do with the unseen were accomplished. But he, along with the rest of them, what's his name? Zachary Hubbard. All he does is just sit there and go, there it is again. There it is again. There's the numbers. It's same numbers. Same numbers. Okay? Well, the individual that I know, he went during a leap year. That's every 4 years. So not only each day has demons and angels that literally we can communicate with. Okay? These sacrifices, there's black path magicians on the other side, on this black plane, waiting on those souls to cross over, that have been uploaded with certain black magic material. In their mind, they think it's Jesus and for the good, but they're getting uploaded with information to be used on the other side in this demon sphere. If you look to Las Vegas at the sphere, Zach Brown just put a video out, and it's pure Satan. Just Google it, in the sphere, Zach Brown. The sphere represent the 8th sphere of the demon sphere that Steiner touched bases on it. And then we're following up with it this day and age. And he had talked about this, on how true black magic is uploading, without the host knowing, black magic into the memory, the conscience, the brain, the cerebrum, and then everything in there goes across. But see, what's manipulated here through spirit, through nature, nature is used in this realm as a medium. Do you understand? So nature is a medium. TV's a medium. And then they kill the nature and then create this shit and then upload you with all these images and black magic. And then when we go across the sphere, like in Vegas, imagine that sphere, and billions and billions, each soul here forever, and they'll make it stronger. Everything that host uploads into their brain, that's black magic. When they go across, it comes out and eventually creates that sphere. Now imagine billions. of just 50,000 hours of screen time coming out in that sphere. Do you understand what I'm telling you? It's very serious. So I've had to go deeper than what I expected, but it's not him. Because no goy or human is going to come from a hospital bed on Saturnalia on December the 17th and know that and know his numbers and go to we haven't even looked into the cabal. We have never read into it, just bits and pieces. But the same thing that I'm giving you with Gematria, in a sense, is the same thing that Blavatsky did, channeling just everything she wrote out. It's written out. But it has to do with prior lifetimes, karma, and shit that the average human does not believe in. Okay, magic squares would be a chessboard, 64 squares. That's 8 by 8, which would be Mercury. Mercury is the messenger of the gods, represents all the metals, everything that's metal. That's why Metallica is the god of metal, because it's the messenger of the gods. And if you listen to their songs, Blackened, Paint Our World Black, they've got all these songs, AC/DC, Back in Black. It's because it all has to do with Saturn. But these magical squares, when certain symbols, which represent numbers or symbols or beings, are aligned in certain ways, and then seals, you have a seal on your birth certificate, which means your Saturn product. But these seals are charged through seances and shit like that. And these boards represent like football time. You're going to fill a board out, and then it's going to be broke down into units. Units is where spirit truly is. Real math is not adding 2 fingers and getting 2. It's getting a square, 1 square unit, and splitting it in half. Now what do you have? 2 square units. Square. Because everything has squared, circled. Everything is perfect as far as nature and math. Okay? And now these fucking demons have done some evil shit. Okay, but if I've been applying, okay, the hardest thing to do is to look at someone that's gone and to pretend they're here before it happened and to act out exactly what they did to take that soul to the other side. And you have no idea how fucking hard it has. This is torture now, and they know it. If I could give you 10% of what is going through this anatomy, this vessel from Saturn, the good side, and to see the bad, if I could give it to you and say, go through one day and see everything, 10% of it, you would lose your mind. That's what I'm saying. When you tell people, look, I don't tell people shit. I can tell you. Okay, do you hear those birds chirping, those group soul conscious beings? Okay, each one of those that I have grown a relationship with, I have been with them on the other side in the sun rays of the elemental beings as well, which would be the astral plane. Okay, they do not want you to know about that. That astral plane, the good side is getting through nature and getting rid of the screens. The screens is what creates the demon plane, the demon sphere. Okay? Steiner's told you. The Santoses them don't. They don't say that all these impulses that we have that are black magic, when we go, the yearning of trying to fulfill that addiction is there, but you'll never be satisfied. One small example of why the screens are everywhere and why the billboards are everywhere. Okay? And looking more into the one that's gone, see, he came to me a long time ago. A long time ago. That's what started all this. And truthfully, it did came through Zachary Hubbard. But I sat there for, you know, for a year or two, and you're like, why does he just keep fucking saying, there it is again, there it is again? But see, when you get deep enough with the brains that we have, they give you hints on certain things, but they're not going to give you, they can't give you the full truth. You know, the same way that you talk to somebody on a phone is the same way that they communicate to the other side. Okay, in the 1800s, they did a ritual around lodge. Steiner's talked about this. It's in other material. Blavatsky even talks about it, on how they were going to summon spirits, and they found out that it was the dead. It wasn't good. And they found out that they were keeping souls, like in a prison, but on the other side, within certain lodges, magnetic field, you know, it's beyond real. Okay, but I don't want to get out there in left field on that. You know, what I want you to do is this. Okay, I'm going to show you this channel. Oh, you got to start listening to stuff like that too. Just put it on that and just listen. It's going to tickle the oil in your spine. In return, it will run into your brain and do breathing exercises. When I breathe in, the oil's going down. Blow out, the oil's going up, running through my head. So, and I play this music, this Bach, and some piano, and the ducks, they'll just be passed out because those vibrations, they're just sitting right by it. You know, and I love rap and rock and metal and some country, and so I blast it. You know, but the more that you start listening to this, what's inside of you will slowly pull away from those negative impulses. This is one small example of the music. Now, one thing I can tell you about with the wars real quick. If you'll watch at least 100 hours of Germany, of Adolf, and like, just pay attention to the structures, pay attention to the soldiers. You can tell that their physical being makeup is just a throwaway few generations. That's it. If you were real badass, you would know, they already know about the salts and all that. You would create humans for 10, 15, 20 generations, and they would literally be 8 feet tall. I could do that over 2 or 3 generations, you know. So they're throwaway generations. But the structures that they blew up everywhere, those were just the apartments for a millennium, you know, for 1,000 years, until they could get to here. And then prior to that and during that, they melted everything. So the World's Fairs, those kind of structures, right fast. St. Louis Exhibition, World's Fair, 1890 something. These images right here, yes, they are badass. Do not get me wrong. These came after what's melted. This did. This is what everybody's stuck on, Tartary and all this other shit. Words. Words are not real. They are fucking black magic. There's no names on the other side. There's none of that shit. And see, this right here is just a huge structure. Look at the ether pulling all that in. You know, but remember, this was prior to what we're in now. And then what we're fixing to look at was literally from the beginning. Of when we became more physical. You understand what I'm saying? Because at one time, silver and gold and all that was liquid, just like water. Okay, what is the name of his channel? This is going to help you tremendously. I hear you. See, that's a blue jay out there. All right, this guy's channel is called Travel East. Travel East. Okay, and he's got Touching Heaven, found China's most hidden paradise. Okay, now when you go to these, you will see, you're going to see the melted stuff. But you've got to go to certain videos like, oh yeah. Every bit of it. just for example. They'll tell you that's billions of years of whatever. No, that's okay. In order to see all these, watch just this channel, and then other ones will pop up. In order to see how that was structured, you'll see the deformity of the seams and stuff. But then you'll have to go look at like Google ice structures or butter. And if somebody makes like a badass structure out of butter and then they add heat to it, it melts the same exact way. And there has to be seams in all of it too, like it's been put together. Okay, so this will keep you busy. 100 hours of the German shit. I'm serious. You'll see it. You'll see it the way that I do. You'll see it from the controller's point of view on how that was just, as demons, we just raise you and then give you bullshit. We created all the guns and tanks and then gave them to you and then created lies. And then all of a sudden there's video cameras. Look at that. And then guess what? Right after that, we mass produce millions of books and then put them into our fake fucking structures. And then here you dumb goy are with fake fucking educations, fake everything. Fake. It's very easy. So watch that. Look at the structures too. And they are badass structures, but those are Roman, Luciferian structures. What's melted is ours. What's melted is the math that goes along with the zodiac. And also their shit too. But they couldn't have built their shit unless they melted our shit and seen, hey, we need to do sort of like this. Do you understand? Because those structures that Rome built in the World's Fairs and all that, and that people are saying that no, that's not built. Some of it is a mirror image, but they didn't have the star forts. Star forts were fucking substations. Everything that's melted was a mirror image. They'll tell you that the 3 pyramids are what? When the zodiac comes over, it's Orion's belt. Okay, well, so they'll build just 3 pyramids in that part like that, but not the rest of the world, because we did. We built it from where we came from. A mirror image. Every structure represented lights up there, which are beings. It's beyond real. And you cannot see that. Every human that comes through this life has never looked up. They're going across with this to that sphere. Look. And all those emotions that girls give me, and all. And it comes out when they go across. Combined billions of souls. And man, you will not be there. But I can tell you this. Then you got to learn about your sheath. Your ether body, your astral body, your ego, your spirit and soul. Your sheath is something that they can harness. Harvesting is more of the soul, and it's a very dark existence. A hermit crab, Steiner talks about it, is likened to the afterlife. Imagine a soul being a hermit crab without a shell, always just wandering with no home, with all these impulses from this life that's fucking surrounding them as demons, and they can't never satisfy anything, ever. And then they get to see flashing images of like me going, listen, and they're trying to listen, but they can't. They can't listen. So all these forces that they've ignored will be demons attacking them forever. Until fit. Okay? And that's why I don't want to talk about certain things, because I can't fucking control it. And they know it too. I said a long time ago some shit went south. See, in 2015 backwards, that's 512, which is the cube of 8. 8 times 8 times 8 is 512. Okay? And then that was the first full year. On 12/17, on Saturn. 38 years, 11 days. 38 and 11 is 418, which has to do with the interlocking of the pentagram and the hexagram, 5 and 6. 56 signatures on the Declaration of Independence, because it's interlocking forces that you don't fucking know about. And you will, though. Germany, travel east. Just go through. I've watched them. Fuck, I've probably watched 2,000 hours in the past month of China, of just walking tours. And that's the thing is if you'll get away from, unless it's like Matrix and Dune and shit like that has hidden symbols in it to watch that we need to fucking hear, then watch what you would see with your eyes. Even the birds that you hear through the fake fucking technology that you'll never see, that will resonate what is in you. Because you're all one. You're one circuit. All life forms are one when it comes to the magnetic field. And I'll be back shortly. I love you.